What's going on, guys? Record1246. I wanted to go over real quick about a topic that I've been testing since I've got the Quest 3, which is what's the best solution for headphones for the Quest 3. And I've done a little bit of research, I tested a little bit. I noticed Bluetooth just cannot keep up. Bluetooth has too much latency, even with low latency gaming mode, still has substantial latency. And so what I noticed is that 2.4 gigahertz wireless headphones have much better latency. And unfortunately, because of that, the options that are available that use that technology, that type of wireless frequency, are pretty uncommon. It's not very common. And on top of that, I wanted to make sure to get actual earbuds and not headphones like these. Because when you're playing VR, you know, whenever you need to remove the headset or adjust the headset, you don't want these around. If I'm playing a shooter and I do like this, my shoulder might hit the cable under here or this. It's just not very comfortable. So I wanted to make sure that I got 2.4 gigahertz and earbuds, not over the head headphones or anything like that. The other option also was in-ear monitors, IEMs. And those are a very good option. And they're also very cheap. So you might want to look into that. But personally, I don't like being tethered with the headphones into the headset, because every time you want to remove your headset, you have to remove them, and then they're just dangling everywhere. And then when you go put it back on, you have to figure out which one is the right or left, and then put them back on. And it's very annoying. Well, I think with the wireless, you can just remove it. You can keep them on if you want. Go do what you have to do, come back, put your headset back on. Boom. Before I start, I want to mention that I am not getting paid by any of these companies to say any of this. I bought all of these. I'm testing all of them. I will be returning some of them. So this is completely unbiased. No sponsors, no ads. So what are the options that we're going to go over today? We're going to go over the Soundcore VR P10s. Okay, these are pretty slick looking earbuds. Then we're going to go over the Prism XR Vega T1 right here. And we're going to go over a very random one, the Transovo RE1 VR headphones. I'll talk more about this later. We're going to go over also the JBL Quantum TWS. Let me open it up. All right. Then the Asus ROG Cetra, also very sleek looking. And then finally, the Razer Hammerhead, right? Is that what it's called? Hammerhead Hyperspeed. All of these have capability for 2.4 gigahertz. Some of them have the ability to do Bluetooth. But I have to separate these into two different categories, okay? The Transovo, the Soundcore, and the Prism XR have a dongle that you pick the worst one to do this. Have a dongle, right? And this dongle has the actual USB-C plug and this, right? So that way, when you put it into the headset, you can also plug in a battery inside, and it will charge the headset as you're also listening to the into the headphones, the earbuds. Not all of these have that. The Razer Hammerhead, the JBL, and the Asus Cetra don't have this. So we're going to be separating them into two categories. We're going to call them standalone and PCVR. Now, I don't know if there's a way to make the quotes PCVR work. Maybe with like some kind of USB-C hub, maybe. I don't have a USB-C hub. I was thinking about ordering one just to see if it actually works. If I do, I'll let you know in the comments. I can put this back in now. All right, so we're gonna go over different categories for each one of these. We're gonna go over sound quality, comfort, connectivity, software, and battery. All right, we're gonna go over each one. I'm gonna give them a score from 1 to 10. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna cover all of them for each one of these categories because I will tell you very soon some of them I did not enjoy at all, that I didn't even fully test them, and I don't think it's worth fully testing them. So let's go over them. So for sound quality, I think it's the most important thing. So the sound cores, all right, the sound cores, I think this is Anchor. These are very great earbuds, but the sound quality is just not their strong suit. They're okay, they're pretty decent, but the bass is very dull. The volume is pretty low, and you have the option inside of the app on the phone to change the equalizer, and that really saves the audio of these, because the default is just bad. Don't use the default. If you get these, make sure you get the app, make sure you link it to your phone, change the equalizer to actually something good that you enjoy, and then use them. And it will keep that preset. So make sure you do that if you get these. I would give it a 6 out of 10. And the Prism XR, Prism XR Vega T1 are exactly the same in this department. They sound to me exactly the same. They also have an app, and it works exactly the same way, step by step. Which when I got these, I was like, man, is this like a copy? Is it like a cheap version? But we'll go more into that. But it's exactly the same setup. So again, if you get these as well, make sure you get the app. Another 6 as well. Now the Transovo also seemed to be a cheap version of those, but I couldn't find the app for these. So I don't know if there's an app, but I was not impressed with these. So I tried the audio. I did not enjoy it. I gave it a 4 out of 10. It was pretty bad. It's basically like the other two, the first two, but without the ability to change the equalizer. And that's a 4 out of 10. Next one's the JBL Quantum TWS. So these beauties are $150. I think that's important to mention, because these other ones, I think the Soundcore were like $70 when I bought them. I also found them at $57. The Prism XR paid around $50. The Transovo, I think it was around $50. Not worth it. These are $150, so there is a big difference in price with these. However, the sound quality on these, very good. They're very good. I did notice that when you get to really high volume, it starts to struggle a little bit, especially like on Windows. I think between like 85 and 100, it starts to struggle, and you're gonna hear, I think it's like chipping noises. It's just not great. So yeah, but the volume is still pretty good. The bass is so good on this. I didn't even have to change the equalizer. Now these are earbuds, so when I say so good, I mean like compared to some other earbuds. None of these get close to, well, actually sort of, to the actual high quality stuff, but for what it is, for the limited availability, the limited options that you have, these are really good. So I would give these a 9 out of 10 for the JBLs. And by the way, I did want to mention, maybe I should have mentioned earlier, but 10 means the best of the bunch. Doesn't mean 10 out of 10. Doesn't mean there's nothing better than this. It just means the best of these is a 10, and then anything below is scaled based on that. So this is a 9, so it's pretty close to the top. The top, in my opinion, is the Asus ROG Cetra, and these are $200, I think. They're expensive, but it sounds better for me. I think the bass sounds better. The volume is a little bit better than the JBLs. You can hear higher volume a little bit better. It also suffers a little bit of audio sound degradation towards the top volume, but it's not as bad as the JBLs. And in my opinion, the audio quality is better. So I'll give these a 10 out of 10. Now, I don't know if I got a defective unit with these. I'm not gonna lie, I may have gotten a defective unit with the Razer Hammerhead, because I received them, and first of all, the package was already opened. Second, when I picked them up, they were nasty. They were used. Somebody had these before me. And whoever messed up didn't clean them, okay? It was disgusting. When I received these, it was just disgusting. And that already gave me a bad opinion of these. And maybe it's not on Razer. It might just be an issue with Amazon. But, because all of these are from Amazon, if I remember correctly, yeah. But, oh, it was disgusting. I had to clean them truly. And after I cleaned them, I tried them, and there was just like a hissing sound in the background. It's just not very good. I did not enjoy these. Like I said, maybe it was a bad unit. There's just a lot of static I didn't like, and the sound was not that great. So 5 out of 10 for these. I did not enjoy the sound, even ignoring the hissing quality, the hissing sound, the little static. It's still, I didn't like it too much. So 5 out of 10 for those. Now let's talk about comfort. All right, so Soundcore comfort. I've worn these a lot. Okay, these are the first ones that I got. I've worn these a lot. They're comfortable. They don't require you to fix them too much. Not for me, at least. Again, each ear is different, so this is for me. And after about 4 hours of gameplay, my ears didn't hurt. However, I definitely felt that I was wearing earbuds after 4 hours. Like, you can tell, but it doesn't hurt, but like kind of gets a little uncomfortable. I would say these are exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing. I felt exactly the same way with the Prism XR Vega T1. So for both of them, I'm giving them a 7. I think 7 is fair for these. Transovo, honestly, I put these on. They're just not comfortable. I didn't like these. 5 out of 10. I'm not gonna spend time on it. It's not worth it. Now the JBL Quantum. These are actually very comfortable. I was not expecting that. I'm gonna be honest. Every time I think of JBL, I see JBL, I think, kind of like a cheaper version of Sony's. That's what I think. But these actually surprised me. They're comfortable. I give them a 10 out of 10. I really enjoy them. They never bothered me. They're just comfortable for me. Again, for me. But they're comfortable. The Cetra, ROG Cetra. They're very comfortable, but I have to adjust them quite often. And whenever I adjust them, it can trigger the gestures, the tap gestures, and there's no way that I could find to completely remove the tap gestures. So it's very annoying because you have to grab them from like the bottom part, and you have to try to adjust it, and it's not very great. So I'd say a 9 out of 10 though. They are comfortable. It's just I have to adjust them often, and it's difficult to adjust them. And by often, I mean like every 20 minutes, 30 minutes or something. And the one thing I will say about these that's actually good is the comfort of these is really good. These are actually very comfortable. If only didn't have the other issues. Yeah, they're comfortable though. So I'll give these a 9 out of 10. I was wearing them. I have no issues. I almost felt like I was not wearing them. So it was really good. Connectivity. All right, so this is kind of where the Soundcore unfortunately are not very good at. This is where they're bad. When I'm playing, especially in my gaming room where there's a lot of stuff going on, I have the router here, I have a computer, all kinds of Bluetooth devices and stuff. I tend to lose connection on I think it's the left ear every so often. I think like every 30 minutes or so, and the sound goes away for like 3 seconds and then it comes back. And yeah, it kind of sucks for that. It's a shame because it's a pretty good earbuds. I enjoy them. I mean, yeah, they're not amazing, but they're pretty convenient. But yeah, you will lose connectivity. At least I don't know if I got a bad unit. I don't think so. I think they're all that way. So yeah, unfortunately, 5 out of 10. Prism XR. These, I would have thought but before I tested this, I would have thought that this would have had the exact same issues. Okay, because there seemed to be a replica, but I didn't. The range is not great. Okay, the range of these is not great. However, I don't get those disconnects. I don't get those disconnects. It doesn't disconnect. Very, very rarely it might. But I don't even remember if it ever did. Like maybe one time it happened. But like it's not every 30 minutes. It actually doesn't happen very often. So pretty good. I'd give him a 7 just because the range is not that great. But in terms of stability compared to the other ones, pretty good. Transovo are exactly like the Soundcore, so 5 out of 10. The JBL Quantum TWS, these are great, great. I could go around the entire house. I could. I've used them. Never disconnects. It doesn't disconnect. It does not. So 10 out of 10. I don't have any negatives for connectivity for these. They just work. So 10 out of 10. The Cetra, very, very similar. I had a disconnect, but I don't think it was related to the actual earbuds. So I'm gonna give them a 10 out of 10 because I don't think it was related to it. And I've used them quite a bit and it doesn't disconnect randomly. So 10 out of 10 for these as well. And the Razer Hammerhead, I didn't even try them. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't try them. I saw they were already opened. Put them on. Audio was really bad. That's like, I'm not trying this. Sorry, I'm not trying it. Maybe I got a faulty unit. I don't know. So let's go over software. So I already mentioned this a little bit earlier. The Soundcore as well as the Prism XR have the applications on the phone that you can use, where you can change the tap gestures and stuff, and you can change the equalizer. Actually, I didn't mention the tap gestures before. But yeah, you can change the equalizer, but as well as the tap gestures, and you completely disable the tap gestures. If you want to, you just take them off. And I love that because I like to adjust these in my ear, and I don't want to accidentally like start music or something. I don't want that. And I think it's amazing that, or maybe I should be expected, you can disable those things. So I would give them an 8, actually, an 8. I'll mention later why it's an 8, but 8 out of 10 for both. Really good, really good. Yeah, nothing to really complain about. Let's put it this way. Transalva doesn't even have a software, so it's 0 out of 10, as far as I could tell. The JBL Quantum, these is actually a 10 out of 10. Why? Because it offers the same feature. It's got equalizer. You can customize tap gestures, but also it does additional things like it will test for audio leak. So when you put different tips, you can test if there's any audio leakage coming out of your ears. That's really nice. And they also have noise canceling that's customized based on the environment in your ears. I couldn't test that because there was not enough noise, is what it was saying, because I'm inside. But you know, it's basically what they had and more. So this one is a 10 out of 10. The Asus ROG Cetra, this is a 6 out of 10. Why? Because it has an equalizer. It's got a couple other nice features. But the tap gesture customization, I couldn't find it. I don't think there is. It's a shame because I really like these, but I couldn't find tap gesture customization. And considering these I need to adjust quite often, it kind of sucks because I'm playing a game and I start music by accident. It's just not great. Or maybe I disable noise cancelling by accident. It's not great. These ones, the Razer actually did use the software, and I would say it's the same as the Suncore as well as the Prism XR. They have the same features. They have equalizer and gesture customization, so that's nice. So I'll say 8 out of 10 again, 8 out of 10. Now, battery. All right, so battery. this is a little bit difficult, but I would say for the Soundcore, it's going to be probably an 8. I've used them for like 4 or 5 hours, maybe even 6, and I didn't have any issues with them. So they're really good. Yeah, I doubt you're gonna use you're gonna run out of battery. If you are, maybe you should get a second pair or something. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Um, Prism XR. Oh, unfortunately, this is where these are bad. Just like with the Suncor bad in connectivity, these are bad in battery, unfortunately. I used them for about 3 hours, and the battery was already dying. Where's the? How do you open this? What the hell? Oh, there it is. Yeah, after 3 hours, the battery was already dying. It's quite a shame. Because these are nice. Yeah, these are nice. I'm gonna go over the conclusion later, but yeah, these are pretty nice. Unfortunately, the battery is what kills them. Yeah, only 3 hours, 4 hours max. Not that great. Okay, so we'll give him a 5. Transovo, I didn't bother. Don't bother. Don't bother. For the JBL Quantum, I give these a 6 for battery because they last about 4 hours. And also, on top of that, the case has very low charge. Okay, I didn't mention it for the other ones because the other ones, the cases are functioning kind of as expected. This one seems to be, this case seems to be with much less battery capacity. So between that and the fact that the headphones only have like 4 hours of battery, I will give them a 6. The Asus ROG Cetra, I was a little bit shocked by these because I've used these for an entire afternoon, all the way until 2 in the morning, and they were still working. And then later at 2, like 2:30, 2:40 a.m., it said low battery. Okay. That's a long time. That is a long, and I was playing at maximum volume, like as loud as I could get it without the sound getting bad, the entire time. And it was great. It was great. The only thing I have to complain about for these, it's not really a battery issue, but the case doesn't have a spot for the dongle. You can't put the dongle anywhere. The case itself seems to have an okay battery, no issues. There's no place to put the dongle. Maybe you have to plug it in here. I guess you could just plug it into the USB-C plug, but I don't think it's supposed to be that way. So, yeah, I'll do that actually. I hadn't thought about that. You can plug it in. I don't think it's meant to be that way. But yeah, a bit strange decision. I think maybe they developed one that was only Bluetooth, and then they were like, let's develop one that's got also 2.4, but then they never did the spot for the USB-C. But in terms of battery, 10 out of 10 for those, really good. So let's go over the totals, all right? So in terms of totals, we've got the Soundcore VR P10s with a 34. The Prism XR Vega T1 with a 33. Transovo VR, they have a 14 because I honestly didn't really try them all completely. The JBL Quantum TWS with a 45. The Asus ROG Cetra also with 45. And then the Razer Hammerhead with 22. And I didn't even mention it for battery because I didn't try them. Yeah, so I didn't try them very well. And like I said, maybe I got a bad unit. I don't know, but with the way I got them, I don't recommend them. So we'll split them into 2 categories: PCVR and standalone. All right. So for PCVR, actually, let's start with standalone. With standalone, no Transovo. Don't even bother. Don't bother. These two, to me, are the ones that are competing: the Soundcore VR P10s and the Prism XR Vega T1. So the strength of the Soundcore VR P10s, in my opinion, is the battery. It lasts longer. I think I played like, what did I say, 5 or 6 hours, I think it was. So You know, if you play a longer period of time, it's pretty good, but you might get some connectivity issues. It might disconnect. So yeah, these ones last only like 3 hours, maybe 4, but I think 3 hours is more accurate. But you're not gonna get as many issues with connectivity. So it's up to you what you want to do. If you really want to spend a little bit more and maybe spend like 100, 110 or something, I don't remember how much they cost. Buy 2 of these, and then you don't have the problem with the battery. You just swap them out. Done. If you play more than 3 hours. Now let's talk about the PC VR version. So just like with the Transovo, Razer, throw out the window. Don't actually do that, but return them if you bought them, or just don't buy them. So to me, the competition is these two, the JBL and the Asus ROG Cetra. So they're actually very close. I would say these have better sound. They're a little bit less comfortable. They're both even with connectivity. The software on this, the fact that you don't have ability to change the tap gestures is a big negative of these. Battery is amazing. Okay, these very good sound quality, almost as good as these. They're actually slightly more comfortable, not significantly more, but more. The software is better. They have the ability to change tap gestures as well as other stuff like sound leak and stuff like that. However, the battery doesn't last as long, at least for my tests. So you do the same thing as I mentioned with the Vega T1 and just buy 2. Although these are very expensive. These are like 150 and these are 200. So these are definitely more expensive. These are in a different category from the other ones. Yeah. It's hard to justify. I mean, this is 150 is this $300 to buy 2. So it depends. Maybe if you don't play too much, this might be a good option. If you play a longer period of time, this might be better. Just keep in mind tap gestures. If you need to adjust them in your ears, it's gonna be a little annoying. Yeah, I decided I'm gonna keep both, and I'll just swap between the two. That's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, I like both. But again, these are earbuds that are not. They're good. They're not the best of the best. Like if you want to compare them to Sony XM5s or Bose. The Bose, what they call the QC Ultra earbuds. Like these don't. I would say the only ones that come close is this, the Cetras. Those come close in terms of audio, and the rest. They come a little bit close. But they don't beat them. They don't beat the Bose. They don't beat the Sonys. But for what we have, for the options that we have available, these are great, and also the JBLs are great. Considering that 2.4 is not used very much. So hope you enjoyed the video, and hopefully it will help you a little bit with your decision on what you need to buy, what you don't need to buy. Like I said, if I get the USB hub, I will make sure to put in the comments if it works or not. And hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, make sure you leave a comment. I'll see you on the next one.